There's a legitimate gripe against Biden pardoning his son. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because a hell of a lot of people were talking about this. And I believe there is some legitimacy, even if you are a liberal, even if you're a Democrat, there is a reason to question the manner in which it was done. Now, we are all clear Biden has pardoned his only son, Hunter. Hunter was found guilty of lying on a gun application to criminally obtain a firearm, and he failed to file federal income taxes for several years to the tune of several $100,000. Now, those are both crimes. I believe they're both felonies. He has paid back all of his tax debt to the IRS plus interest. So there are no leftover victims from what he did, but a crime is a crime. Now, why do people have a problem with this? Keep in mind, if this was your child, hell, if this was my son, I believe all of us would pardon our child under the circumstances for which Hunter Biden had been charged. But there is a huge issue. He didn't just pardon him for the two charges that he was about to be sentenced for. He gave him a 10-year blanket pardon. So literally any federal crime that Hunter Biden has committed from 2014 until now, he's pardoned for it. Why the hell would you do that? Unless you already know something that the rest of us do not. And that is a legitimate reason to have a gripe with the way Biden did this, because that is somewhat indicating, at least by a hell of a lot of people's analysis, that you do know your son is guilty of more than he's been charged with, such as all of the shit that's on a laptop that people have been griping about, and it's been kept out of court up to now. So I do want to run that by you, because I do believe that's a legitimate gripe against President Biden. The second gripe, not so much, is that he lied and said he wasn't going to do it. In my belief, knowing damn well he was, I've done lies and we've talked about it. I believe since day one, the guy knew he was going to pardon his son. That was bullshit to say he wasn't. But some people believe he was not going to pardon his son, expecting a Democrat to win the election, and then that Democrat would essentially do the same damn thing, which is let his son off the hook. But once he lost, then yeah, he felt, well, I have no choice. I got to save him from Trump. I don't buy that. I believe he's going to pardon his son from day one. I believe Biden, when he was telling folks he wasn't going to do it, he was lying at that time. However, is it really that serious that a politician told a lie? Remember Obama, if you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor. George H.W. Bush, read my lips, no new taxes, weapons of mass destruction. You know, Trump said he didn't have anything to do with Stormy Daniels. Politicians lie. I think that's a fair assessment. They lie. So the fact that he lied and said he was not going to pardon his son, and then he later did it, similar to Trump saying, if, you know, once the audit is done, I'm going to release my taxes, knowing damn well he had no intention to release his taxes. I think it just falls into the category of politicians lie. So I don't have a big issue with him lying and doing something ultimately that all of us would have done. I have the issue with potentially keeping crimes from the public eye. Pardoning someone means that they committed a crime, and we all know they committed a crime, and you are indeed forgiving them for it. But when you give a 10-year blanket pardon, that's done to literally prevent any other crimes from coming to light, which is why I believe that Trump still should use the Department of Justice to investigate Hunter Biden and bring to light what they find. Okay, he can't be held accountable for it, assuming it's only a federal crime. If it's a state crime, then those states can still go after him. But assuming he only committed a bunch of federal crimes with Burisma or Ukraine or something, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. But the public should know. I'm not a fan of politicians keeping shit in the dark. And Hunter Biden is not the only one. I'm not just going strictly after Hunter Biden. Most likely, President Biden is involved in that shit too with his son. So if he keeps his son misdoing in the dark, it helps prevent him from being tied to it. But most likely, Hunter Biden was only doing this shit at the behest of his father. So it's a good chance that President Biden is involved in some of that stuff too. I'm not a fan of keeping misdeeds in the dark. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. You or I could not do that. You can't fire prosecutors and put people in that are favorable to you. And this just doesn't apply to the Bidens. Matt Gaetz, President Trump, they too are doing something similar, where they're being charged and accused of committing a crime, and they're literally able to interfere with the investigation. So you never know what happened, so that the truth never comes to light. They're not trying to prove their innocence. They're trying to prevent you from knowing what the hell happened. So I'm not a fan of any of these folks getting away with that, such as Biden giving his son a 10-year pardon. I don't believe you should be able to pardon somebody until there's actually a crime or some type of accusation. But giving them a blanket pardon, that just, I don't know. Politics in this country has gotten out of hand. People being given immunity and all of this shit. I really think this is far from what the founding fathers ever intended. However, I guess I can't argue with folks who are put in these positions and they're finding loopholes and ways to exploit the law. But what do you think? Do you think that Biden should be able to give or any president for that matter, should be able to give a blanket pardon so it prevents even crimes you don't know about from coming to light? And what do you believe Biden's blanket pardon of Hunter indicates? I believe it indicates that President Biden knows he's done other shit, so I'm going to cover him for the years he did it. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? You think it's just simply to prevent Trump's DOJ from railroading Hunter Biden, or do you believe he is indeed one guilty son of a bitch? Let me know in the comments. As always, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next video.